Hi everyone, I am Irene Pillado. My topic is about the philosophies of K-12 basic education curriculum. Teaching philosophy is like a map, which gives direction to move ahead. One may feel lost without it. In the same manner, you are going to be missed while teaching if a specific path is not decided. For us to be directed with the topic, let us know the learning objectives. First, understand what K-12 curriculum is. Second, identify and examine the philosophies of the K-12 basic education curriculum. Now, let's talk about our current curriculum. What is K-12 curriculum? The K-12 curriculum is an education system that aims to enhance learners' basic skills, produce more competent citizens, and prepare graduates for lifelong learning and employment. K stands for kindergarten. It is mandatory and a prerequisite for admission to grade 1. 12 refers to the succeeding 12 years of basic education. The K-12 basic education curriculum envisions a grade 12 graduate who is holistically developed, with 21st century skills, ready for employment, entrepreneurship, middle-level skills development and higher education. Here are some features of the K-12 basic education curriculum. It introduces programs and projects that aim to expand and improve the delivery of basic education in the country. It seeks to provide the Filipino learners with the necessary skills and competence to prepare them to take on the challenges of the 21st century. It will make the basic education system in the Philippines at par with international standards by ensuring that it is appropriate, responsive, and relevant to the learners. Later, we will know the philosophical basis of K-12 curriculum. But before that, let us know what the importance of philosophy in the curriculum is. Philosophy helps educators in formulating beliefs, arguments, assumptions, and in making value judgments. It develops a broad outlook, and it also helps in answering what schools are for, what subjects are important, how students should learn, and what materials and methods should be used. In our lives, it is significant to understand ourselves and what we accept and believe in. Same goes in the teaching profession. Who we are as a teacher and what believe in control us what we will be like as a teacher. There were many educational philosophies that teachers can fall into. They may have one main philosophy or combine two philosophies if it suits to the kind of learners they teach. But this time, we will focus only on the following philosophies anchored in K-12 curriculum. First is Constructivism, second is Progressivism, and third is Reconstructionism. Now let's talk about what Constructivism is. Constructivism is a philosophy of learning founded on the premise that, by reflecting on our experiences, we construct our own understanding of the world we live in. The main concern of the constructivist is to develop intrinsically motivated and independent learners adequately equipped with learning skills for them to be able to construct knowledge and make meaning of them. Motivation is very essential so learning may take place. The learners are taught how to learn. They are taught learning processes and skills such as searching, critiquing, and evaluating information, relating these pieces of information, reflecting on the same, making meaning out of them, drawing insights, posing questions, researching, and constructing new knowledge out of these bits of information learned. In this manner, teachers apply higher-order thinking skills. In constructivist classroom, the teacher provides students with data or experiences that allow them to hypothesize, predict, manipulate objects, pose questions, research, investigate, imagine, and invent. The constructivist classroom is interactive. It promotes dialogical exchange of ideas among learners and between teacher and learners. The teacher's role is to facilitate this process. Knowledge isn't a thing that can be simply deposited by the teacher into the empty minds of the learners. Rather, knowledge is constructed by learners through an active, mental process of development. Learners are the builders and creators of meaning and knowledge. Constructivists believe that learners' minds are not empty. They believed that learners are full of ideas ready to be midwifed by the teacher with his or her skillful facilitating skills. Advantages of constructivist classroom. Students often like when they are part of the decision-making process. A higher level of thinking occurs. Students feel a sense of ownership when hands-on learning occurs rather than just being told something. Disadvantages of constructivist classroom. Belief that learning is based on the student's ability to discover new knowledge. Teachers may not take responsibility for poor learning. May lead students to take a majority rules attitude rather than an individual approach to decision-making. Our current curriculum is spiral on which key concepts are presented repeatedly throughout the curriculum. The concepts are taught early then retaught in succeeding years but with deepening layers of complexity. The second philosophy that we will examine is Progressivism. Progressivists believe that education should focus on the whole child, neither on the content to be taught nor the teacher. Progressivism is concerned with learning by doing, that learners learn best when chasing their own interest and filling their individual needs. Progressivist teachers teach to develop learners into becoming enlightened and intelligent citizens of a democratic society. This group of teachers teaches learners so they may live life fully now, not to prepare them for adult life. The most important thing for progressivists is to live life fully now. The progressivists are identified with need-based and relevant curriculum. This is a curriculum that responds to students' needs and that relates to students' personal lives and experiences. The teachers focus on the skills that they need every day. Progressivists accept the impermanence of life and the inevitability of change. For the progressivists, everything else changes. Change is the only thing that does not change. Hence, progressivist teachers are more concerned with teaching the learners the skills to cope with change. Instead of occupying themselves with teaching facts or bits of information that are true today but become obsolete tomorrow, they would rather focus their teaching on the teaching of skills or process in gathering and evaluating information and in problem solving. The subjects that are given emphasis in progressivist schools are the natural and social sciences. Teachers expose students to many new scientific, technological, and social developments, reflecting the progressivist notion that progress and change are fundamental. In addition, students solve problems in the classroom like those they will encounter outside of the schoolhouse. Progressivist teachers employ experiential methods. They believe that one learns by doing. For John Dewey, the most popular advocate of progressivism, book learning is no substitute for actual experience. One experiential teaching method that progressivist teachers heavily rely on is the problem-solving method. This problem-solving method makes use of the scientific method. Other hands-on, minds-on, hearts-on teaching methodology that progressivist teachers use are field trips during which students interact with nature or society. Teachers also stimulate through thought-provoking games and puzzles. Advantages of progressivist classroom. Teachers can make sure everyone is learning and can easily spot students having difficulties. Students learn at their own pace. Students are taught to be competent learners with lots of opportunities for success. Flexible mode of instruction makes sure that the learning method is used for maximum efficiency. Disadvantages of progressivist classroom. Few people to choose whom to be friends or work with, especially for new students in higher grades where friendships are already established. There may be some who need firmer method of teaching for better learning. Progressivism is applied in our current curriculum, hence, students are to experience the world. Learning is rooted in questions of students that arise through experiencing the world. It is active, not passive. Now, let's talk about the philosophy of Reconstructionism. What is Reconstructionism? Reconstructionism, a philosophy that emphasizes the addressing of social question on a quest to create a better society. Its main concern is to attain social reforms. The curriculum focuses on student taking social action in solving real problems. Social issues are dealt through inquiry, dialogue, and multiple perspectives. Community-based learning is utilized. The goal of Reconstructionist learning for students is that they themselves may envision the good future and spend their learning as a preparation for their role in the future for which they reach. This is an idea of change for a better educational system. Advantages of Reconstructionism. This approach teaches students about their own histories and those of others around the world. It is more engaging and allows students to understand better the material they are learning. Disadvantages of Reconstructionism. Difficult for teachers to implement and find resources on topics outside their expertise. It does not have an agreed upon set of beliefs. Community-based learning and bringing the world into the classroom are some teaching strategies. Therefore, Reconstructionism is used to allow students experience and take social action on real-life problems. That ends my report, and here are my references. Again, this is Irene Pillado saying, life is what you make it. Thank you for listening.